So the trade deadline's just passed, and the Pelicans made a huge move, trading away Buddy Hield and a first-round pick, second-round pick, and 2 injury-prone players for DeMarcus Cousins, essentially, and that's pretty much it. Yeah,
Caspi.
They waved him straight off.
Yeah.
Though, so
Yeah,
it's essentially Cousins.
Just Cousins. But with the best front court in the league with Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins, the Pelicans really underperforming since the deadline, to be honest. 2 wins, I believe, since the deadline. Judah, what are your thoughts?
The move was definitely shocking. When I first heard about it, I was absolutely stunned because Pelicans already had probably the greatest power forward in the league. Easy. I don't see much competition. I mean, there's Blake Griffin, Draymond Green, but I don't think they're just at Anthony Davis's level. So they've already got the best power forward in the league, and now they've got the best center in the league as well. So they potentially have the opportunity here to create the best front court of all time. So, this trade created a lot of hype. It would have been very exciting for the Pelicans fans. Unfortunately, they gave away a lot of their assets to make the trade, though. I mean, they gave away their young gun, Buddy Hield, Tyreek Evans. I mean, he was getting old anyway. They also gave away Langston Galloway, I think, their first rounder. Yeah, a lot of important role players to their team. So, even though they have good front court players, their other positions are lacking, to say the least. But Pelicans looked very good, but they have been very underwhelming so far. I mean, I think they pulled wins against Detroit Pistons and Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, Detroit Lakers, good teams, but it's not too hard to pull wins against them, to be honest. But yeah, and they've had some close calls against other teams, but they're just not really performing at the level that everyone expected so far. I mean, I think it's to do with the factor because new teammates, new chemistry. They lost a pretty large chunk of their team, to be honest, in the trade, and only picked up DeMarcus Cousins in return. So now they've all got to get used to playing around him, playing with him on the court, and obviously he wants the ball a lot in his hand too, so that plays a big part in their offense and their game plans. But they haven't done well so far, I think.
I'm not overly shocked, to be honest. I mean, they both play essentially the same position, really. They're both high post players, neither of them really post up low. So, it will take a while to adjust. And, that's really no surprise why they're doing so bad. I mean, it just proves that, when you bring in such a big player, and we were talking about, obviously, before the Melo for Love deal, how much it would affect, the Cavs if that happened. It just shows how big of how hard it is to integrate a player into your system. And also that, look, realistically, what do the Pelicans have other than Davis and Cousins?
Yeah, they got Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday,
nothing.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. I'd equate him to a Darren Collison, really.
Yeah, he's nothing.
Not much.
But
this idea that they've got a big three with Holiday, Cousins, and Davis is insane.
Well, yeah, they've sort of got a big two, and then they've got one role player in Holiday, and then they have not really anyone else on the team.
Each one more.
Oh, each one more.
Each
Sorry.
one more as well.
I can't forget about Tim Frazier off the bench. He's
don't sleep on him.
What else? Like Solomon Hill, starting small forward. I think they got Dante Cunningham as well.
Jordan Crawford they signed the other day from the D League too. So.
Yeah. No, well, a lot of no names.
They got
essentially.
scrubs.
Yeah.
They
Well, they traded away basically
their whole
scoring. Well, all their scoring besides Davis and Holiday in that trade. But yeah, no, they haven't done as well as everyone really expected them to go so far. To be honest.
No, definitely, it's a bit disappointing. But say everyone obviously would have expected that the Kings really lost this deal. The first rounder that lots of people wouldn't have expected would have maybe even made the lottery. Lots of people were expecting the Pelicans to more or less win every game in the rest of the season, sort of thing. But now that the Pelicans are struggling a little bit, do you feel that the Kings maybe came out on top of this trade? They got youth and they've got good draft pick, maybe possibly potentially in the next draft, Ryan?
Look, I still think they got undersold, essentially. I really feel like... the GM, Vlade Divac, even said the Lakers offered him a better deal, but the owner obviously said no and that he wanted Buddy Hield. I don't know what he sees in Buddy Hield, to be honest. I think that's the biggest problem.
He hasn't really proven himself.
When ownership tries to enforce their will on the team, like you're not the GM, you're not a scout, stay out of it. But in saying that, look, that pick should end up being decently well. Yeah. In saying that, it's no Boston Celtics and Brooklyn Nets deal, as in it'll be they'll get one pick and that's it. Like realistically, they got one pick and a second rounder for like the best center in the league. I find that insane. In the long run, though, I don't think they will win from it. If they can strike gold, I'd expect it to be a lottery pick. I don't see the Pelicans making the playoffs. They just lost too many games and it'll take too long to adjust.
Yeah.
And to be honest,
anyway.
they just aren't that good.
Yeah.
Kings definitely won't now. Which is obviously a shame if you're a Bulls fan because if it fell outside, if their pick fell outside the top 10, it'd go to the Bulls. But look, I think one of the big things though for the Pelicans is going to be whether or not Alvin Gentry is a good coach or not.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had Anthony Davis the last 4 years, and they haven't been able to make the playoffs, and two, when they have made the playoffs, they've been knocked out in the first round. He can't whinge about talent. He's got the best front court of all time. I think that's consensus. The only one that really come close is probably Tim Duncan and David Robinson. And even that, though, I think you've got on the Pelicans. I mean, you've got two guys that can average 25 and 15, and that's just never been seen before.
No, that's definitely true.
No, definitely, it's a bit like you've said, they've definitely undersold Boogie. But what do the Pelicans need to do? They can probably attract free agents. Want to come play with the best front court in the league. They could look to future drafts. What do you think they need to do to pick themselves up from here? Either of you?
Well, I was going to ask you, Mitch. Well, what do you think they should do with Holiday and free agency?
Holiday,
he's obviously a free agent.
You could. Do they have cap room?
They'll have cap. I think at the moment he's on about 10 million a year. He's probably realistically going to be asking for about 20 to 25.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you go for him or try and go for. There's obviously other great point guys. Curry's probably not going to leave, but you got guys like Chris Paul, depending on how well the Clippers go.
He's been in New Orleans before. I mean,
true, and that's the big thing. He got drafted by the Hornets. Obviously, in that trade to the Clippers, could he end up returning to the Pelicans?
He probably. I don't think they'll go after Drew Holiday. To be honest, the fans think that they'll let him go,
especially with his injury history.
Yeah, no, definitely. But another option for them I see coming could possibly be Gordon Hayward to play the small forward position. They could really chase him if Chris Paul, decides to sign somewhere else. Gordon Hayward would definitely be an option, but Jazz first seed in the West.
Even Contavious Caldwell-Pope. They're definitely lacking.
They need to strengthen their other three positions other than Anthony Davis and
their small forward and shooting guard positions are shocking.
And I really don't think Capron's going to. I mean, look, Cousins is on about 15 mil a year, which, let's be honest, is a good salary, a really good salary. Davis is on 20, I think. So again, that's not terrible. You've still got about another 80 mil, 70 mil to spend. And look, you need to strengthen the team because if you don't build a contender, Cousins is going to leave. And
he's going. Davis is going to leave
Davis
eventually.
Davis is going to leave as well.
No, definitely, it's a bit of a rough spot they've got themselves in, to be honest. But Ryan, you've really spoken to me. Something you found a bit fishy is how did New Orleans manage to host the All-Star game 2 times in the same decade?
Well, I may sound like an idiot and one of those crazy guys that thinks 9/11's a conspiracy, which I don't. But I honestly think there is an NBA Illuminati. I'm not kidding, honestly. And Colin Cowherd from The Herd on Fox, he said the exact same thing. I reckon there's Adam Silver. And there's obviously heaps of videos out on YouTube you can find.
Michael Zambo
bent envelope and crap, all that. But the whole Chris Paul trade.
Yeah.
That deal with
shut down David Stern.
David Stern shuts it down with the Lakers. I actually thought that was a really good deal. You get Lamar Odom, you get Goran Dragic. They got
there's
actually
nothing
a lot
wrong
of
with
good players. But because the Hornets were in control by the league at the time, they cancelled it. New Orleans is a dying franchise. And let's be honest, apart from Anthony Davis, if they didn't have Anthony Davis, they'd be under serious question of what is it called, relocation.
Yeah.
No doubt, and especially with Seattle wanting a team fairly soon. So I honestly think the league's helped out the Pelicans, and the fact that they've held the All-Star game twice within the last 10 years. I mean, I can't remember the last time Chicago had it. Another big city. You know what I mean? I think LA is getting it next year, but it's I honestly think that there is a little Illuminati, and it's got the 2 best players in the league, the commissioner, and it's got some of the big owners.
You know what's funny about the deal though? Because everyone was like, "Oh, Pelicans won this deal. Pelicans won this deal." But the funny thing is, I think Kings are actually playing quite well, like a lot better than expected. Because
at the moment they're high,
it's given a chance for Willie Cauley-Stein to get minutes because he's always behind Cousins, not going to get any minutes being backup center. Now he's starting and he's playing really well. Also, Ty Lawson's picked up his scoring as well, which he used to be pretty good at in Denver. and he sort of dropped off a bit since he left. He's picked up his scoring. Buddy Hield's not playing too bad since getting there. Who else they got?
A lot of pressure though.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
Buddy Hield, like,
He's got to be like the next
sixth
franchise
best,
player. Yeah, Tyreek Evans. He's playing well since he gotten back. You know, the Kings, they're actually clicking, which is actually pretty surprising. I think they've got more wins than New Orleans has since they traded.
they won't make the playoffs.
Oh, I'm not saying they will, but
I'm just saying.
I mean that everyone was saying that Pelicans won this trade. Everyone was saying, what are the Kings GMs thinking? But Kings aren't doing too bad, so
They need
kudos
more
to them.
picks, though. Like, surely they need. Like,
Yeah,
you can't
you
get
need
one
more
first round
picks.
pick for it. You know what I mean? Like, one. Finally, one last thing I'd like to ask, like both of you guys. Do you think the like the way they've got two bigs now? Like, obviously they've got a twin post offense, which is extremely rare. Like the only other team that I could really think about off the top of my head is probably be the Spurs with Gasol and Aldridge. At the moment, I mean, even the Clippers, I'd still say Blake Griffin's more of a small ball four than a real big.
Maybe even Gibson or Lopez before the deadline.
Maybe, but even Gibson's, I mean, he's 6'8", 6'9", so I'd still class him like a Blake Griffin. Do you guys think that the time of having twin post offense like just won't work anymore? And that, like this old style, in a new era just won't work for him?
It's definitely possible that it won't work. I don't see why not though, because you look at the real contenders are like the Warriors and all them. Even the Cavs, what do they really lack is a defender who can defend the post. You've got Draymond Green and Zaza Pachulia or whoever they've got running center. Really just I feel like they could that could actually be the key to beating the Warriors is bringing back this old style of play. Anyway, yeah, Judah, what are your thoughts?
I think this offense can definitely work in the NBA. To be honest, I mean, like you were just saying, teams that run a small ball or just don't have good low post defenders. I mean, honestly, when you have these two amazing post scorers, they're gonna dominate in the league. It's just, and I think that's what has been working for them so far. I mean, Boogie and Davis both putting up good points. It's just the team around them that's making them lose. So I think the twin post offense, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it still definitely works in the NBA, and there's no problems with it.
Can Alvin Gentry take him to a championship?
No. Alvin Gentry, he's not a bad coach. He's not terrible, but I just don't think he's working well with New Orleans. Like you said, been there the last couple of years, and they've never really looked that good, to be honest, except for Davis.
Nah. Anyway, guys, that's our thoughts on the New Orleans Pelicans after the trade deadline. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.